Hi everybody, Jeffrey K. Howard here, Vegas Film Critic. It's a very boring Friday night, and it's been a long week, a lot of movies, and I'm just cruising around YouTube trying to find some new channels and some new interesting things, and I came across this guy, Boogie 2988, or I can't remember. Man, I just fell in love with this guy. I love his videos, and it's been a long time since I found a YouTube channel that I really like. I mean, this guy is just, he's funny, he's just so simple in his ways, and he's just, his personality and his knowledge, I mean, I just love this guy. But I was, I'm starting to do a Loot Crate, a playlist. I'm going to start doing that, and I was researching Loot Crate unboxings, and he had some that were really cool. But the reason I'm making this video is that he had, his latest video that he uploaded was about the Fair Use Act. And I remember the other day reading the Nostalgia Critic too, also on YouTube, about the Fair Use Act and how YouTubers are getting flagged and getting copyright violations for just about anything from gaming to music to whatever you can picture. But it's like the upper, I don't know how this works. And I was listening to Boogie and listening to the Nostalgia Critic, and seeing that if you're, part of a management group, and if you're part of the YouTube upper echelon, that you're almost like immune. There's all these conspiracy theories about what's going on with the Fair Use Act. And I thought, after listening to Boogie, I told myself, I'm going to tell my story, because I was directly affected by fair use and copyright. I joined YouTube back in 2005. Oh, first of all, I'm a professional film critic, meaning that I've been in my own television show here in Vegas for 20 years, NBC, Fox, ABC, daily papers, Las Vegas Sun, Las Vegas Weekly, Scope Magazine. My interviews and reviews have been on WSB in Atlanta. So I'm a professional broadcast critic, member of the Broadcast Film Critics Association, Las Vegas Film Critics Society. I have dealt for 20 years now with the same reps at Disney, Warner Brothers, Fox, Universal, you name them. I know them all. I'm a nationally recognized film critic, a journalist, 2 Emmy Awards, LA Press Club, Journalist of the Year. I could go on and on with my credentials. I'm very modest. I don't brag. So I'm setting all this up because when I started YouTube, as a lot of you may see some of my classic interviews, I did all the junkets. I mean, I did junkets every weekend for 15, 18 years, every movie star, everything you did, for my television show here locally, for the newscasts, and then I started this thing called YouTube. So I started putting up all my interviews on there, and if I used any kind of clip, it would always get flagged. So anyway, I must have put, when did it end? 3 years. 2007, I put 2 years worth of my interviews. We're talking hundreds of interviews, from Steven Spielberg to you name it. Some of my greatest, just everything I ever did was put on YouTube. It finally flagged me so many times that they canceled my channel. So if you're looking at my channel right now, it says The Vegas Film Critic. It used to be Vegas Film Critic at YouTube or whatever it is. But when I did the new channel, I had to put The in there because I couldn't use Vegas Film Critic. So I got flagged, and here was the impossible thing. There's no one to talk to. This is back in the olden days with YouTube. So, I mean, I couldn't get a hold of anybody. I couldn't say, look, I got permission to use these clips. I get it from the studios. Here's there used to be the 3/4 tapes, now it's, online. But I had no one to talk to. I couldn't do it. And I wasn't the only one. Chuck Thomas, Chuck the Movie Guy, look on his YouTube, millions of hits. He finally gave up because he was getting flagged constantly. I think he had some success. But we all talk to each other. All film critics, all the broadcasts and the print, we see each other every weekend in LA or New York, or we talk on Facebook, or we call each other and like that. So a lot of guys have stayed away from YouTube. So now they got rid of my account in 2007. So now I rejoined again in 2008. And if you probably see some of my YouTube videos here, you're like, holy cow, it's like 9-10 years ago, and there's a huge gap. Well, because I was broadcast, and what's happened since then is that they've really started to cut back on entertainment, not just here in Vegas, but just nationally everywhere. All local entertainment has been slashed, cut, and just budget cuts are just getting rid of it. They use affiliate stuff like from the network or something. So I've told myself, excuse me, that I wanted to reinvent myself. And I went to VidCon last year using YouTube. So I dusted off my account that's been sitting dormant, like a cicada. And I thought, okay, I'm going to really reinvent myself. I'm going to try to be a YouTube star, whatever success that may be. This is my outlet now. This is the 21st century. The people, the demographic that want to see my movie reviews and go to the movies using YouTube, using mobile devices. So it's like a whole exciting new thing to reinvent myself. Okay, so I started my channel in 2008, but it just lay dormant for years. So about 6-7 months ago, I just started pouring my heart and soul into my YouTube channel. And I'm from the old school of doing movie reviews, and where I would take, let's take Poltergeist that came out last year. I would do a voiceover. I would do an intro, then I would do a voiceover and have a clip playing, and the audio would come on, just like you would watch on the news. But I would kind of put some fun and everything into it. And I get all of my clips and all of my licensed material from epk.tv. And this is for journalists where they can go and download clips, sound bites, B-roll, you name it, everything for TV shows, DVD releases, all that. And you have to be approved by the studios to get this copyrighted material. And you sign all kinds of things, how to use it and how to conduct yourself. So as I started my YouTube channel again, all of a sudden now I'm getting flagged. I'm getting flagged for copyright infringement. I'm like, so I'm calling the studios, I'm calling my reps in Phoenix. I'm going, what is going on here? Why can't I use Mad Max Fury Road? Why can't I use these clips? And how come I'm watching all these other guys who are definitely not national press, who are definitely not respected journalists? They're use all these clips they can use. They're using all this Mad Max stuff. They're using Poltergeist, all of this stuff. I get my San Andreas. So I mean, I was so discouraged. So I didn't know what to do. I wasn't getting any cooperation. Then what happened from YouTube? Look at me, I'm ranting. Boogie, you did this to me. Here, now I started, complaining and using the system where you would, if you were flagged, you could fight it, you could dispute it. So now they did this to me. So yeah, I want to make money at this, I want to live my dream and be a working film critic and make a living at this and pay my mortgage just like everyone else. The studios or the powers that be said, well, this is copyrighted material. You're allowed to use it, but you can make no revenue from it. You can post it and use it, but every revenue that comes from that will come directly to us. So I'm like, what the hell? So now I'm going to just do this for them and not me. So then I told myself, well, let me try this. So I just started using photos. So when you watch my reviews and watch everything, you're watching this. All those pictures are coming by. That's what I did. And so far, 6-7 months, nothing's happened. So anytime I use any kind of video, even without audio, I kind of put it in there. And I get satellite interviews, from all the stars and all this stuff. And it's so frustrating because I'm not pirating anything. I'm using everything with permission. I even put on clips. I would put courtesy of 20th Century Fox or courtesy of Warner Brothers, everything. I know how the game works. It works for television the same way it works for YouTube. So now I'm seeing all this Fair Use Act blowing up around, and I have been affected by this since day one on YouTube. But I don't get it as much as everyone else does because they do gaming and they do all this multi-platform stuff, which is just, I can't even imagine all of that. But I really had to, curb myself creatively, because I can't use clips, I can't use sound bites, I can't use all the materials I'm allowed to use if I want to use it on television. I can't use it on here because the mindless bot of YouTube doesn't recognize me, or I can't even talk to someone. We can just clear something up so easily, saying, look, I've got every vice president in Hollywood at every studio for publicity will say, yeah, I know who Jeff Howard is. Well, of course, yeah, I've known him for 20 years. Of course he has permission to use our clips. Of course he does, everything, all of that. But that's just too difficult to do, isn't it? Oh, so, I'm hearing these guys, and I went to VidCon last year. I mean, I went to VidCon. You probably see all my little videos on the bottom there. And I thought, I'm going to go in there and learn and network and all this stuff, and it was a big disaster. It wasn't. It was just like Boogie said, it's the upper echelon of YouTubers that are being courted, that make the money, that are being groomed and being put front and center. I don't know if there's a paranoia that he has or around the net about how they're pushing out the small YouTubers that's just going to take care of itself, but I don't know. When I started this back up again, 6 months ago, I started with 85 subscribers. Now I have like 350. I fought for every one of those guys. I really did. And I loved starting to get more and more feedback. I dusted off my Rotten Tomatoes account, started linking my YouTube reviews to that. So I totally understand where all this frustration is coming from, because my hands are tied, even though they should not be tied. I should be able to make all of these videos with all the materials I have that I have permission to use. But for some reason, I keep getting flagged. And I was freaking out about it too. I think there's a video around here too when I first came back 6-7 months ago. People are like, where have you been? You've been gone for years. I just concentrate on television. I just make my television show. I was like, YouTube, but now YouTube is YouTube. So I don't know. I want to try this again and see what happens. But hey, I feel your pain. I don't know if I'm in the same category as a lot of you guys where, I just want to take a clip and use it. And the Fair Use Act, I totally understand that. But here, listen to me. I have permission to use all of it. I have all of it. EPK.TV and 3/4 tapes and digital stuff. I had it here. I was sent to it. I sent every week. I had all these clips and stuff for broadcast use. I had permission. Wow. That felt good. All right. Go to my website, vegasfilmcritic.com. That felt good. Peace.